All right. Welcome back, all you sorcerers out there. This is your boy Itachi, and this is Itachi Gaming. Welcome back to another Disney's Sorcerer's Arena DSA video right here live today on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the two best teams to start off with. I know I talked about best villains and best heroes for starting players, but we're going to actually revise this list after doing more research and gameplay. I've come out to find that the characters I originally actually suggested aren't the ones you may not particularly want to be going after. So we're going to talk about downtown villains today and kingdom characters as well, or toons, and show you kind of what you really want to be going for here for this game. We'll get right back to it right after this. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to talk about downtown heroes first. So you're going to get to a point for villains. Downtown villains actually is what you're going to want to be going after. And so when you get to a certain point, really it's going to be in GRAN campaign to 3i. You're going to want to farm Syndrome. Syndrome is a leader for villains. He works specifically with villains. And you don't want to farm this guy up. Downtown is actually used for quite a few different things, from tower to quite a few different special events as well. So you're going to need your downtown team for sure, and downtown villains are one of the best. Now Syndrome has a leader here. It's called critical cronies, and what this is going to do is villain teammates specifically receive a bonus of 4% chance to deal a critical strike. So being able to crit is very huge. His basic is pretty decent here. Plasma blast, deal up to 406 damage to target opponent. And then you get a 30% chance to gain offense up for 1 turn at level 2. At level 3, you're going to increase his damage by 50%. And then his special one is going to be Bracelet Bomb, and this is going to be an AoE area effect. And what this is going to do is deal up to 440 damage to all opponents. And then you're going to add 50% bonus critical strike chance against opponents affected by at least one harmful effect, and then level 3 is going to add 50% damage dealt. Special number 2 is 0 point energy, and this deals a lot of damage and inflicts stun for one turn. And then at level 2 you're gonna have 50% chance to inflict slow as well. And then we've got his passive Flying Robot. And on turn start, 15% chance to inflict vulnerable on the opponent with the lowest health. And then level 2 is going to decrease magic by 1, and level 3 is going to have a plus 5% chance to activate. So you can get him all the way up to 20% chance to activate this passive. So Syndrome is going to be your leader, and you're going to want to farm him right away. You have Demona in here, who will eventually actually fall off, but she's going to be another one. We've already gone over her kit. And you can find her in a couple of different spots. You got Heroes Campaign at 2B Elite, and then you got Grand Campaign at 2D as well. And then she'll also be found in 6D Elite later on in the game for Heroes Campaign. Now after that, we're going to talk about 3 other characters to make this team complete. That's going to be the Big Bad Wolf, and this guy is just fantastic. I don't have him unlocked yet, but his basic can pretty much annihilate heroes, to be completely frank with you all. So this is going to deal up to 50 damage to target opponent, 50% bonus critical strike chance if target's health is below 70%. But when you go here, you're going to get a guaranteed to deal critical strike if target's health is below 50%. And then you're just going to add damage. So you get that critical strike. This is going to do big damage, pretty much like an annihilate, and that is called Big Bad Punch. Huff and Puff. This right here, deal up to 54 damage to all opponents, 30% chance to inflict defense down for 2 turns. This is going to work in conjunction with Syndrome himself, and then guaranteed to inflict defense down if an opponent is a hero character. So going against a lot of heroes, which a lot of people are going to have early, This is going to be a huge thing here. Huff and Puff, this special allows you to deal some more damage with Syndrome's AoE. Special number 2 is in sheep's clothing. Deal up to 150 damage to target opponent. Restore health of this character equal to 30% of damage dealt. This is going to help. He's going to continue to get health, 10% more health here, so up to 40%, and then plus 50% damage dealt. And this is a way to keep him alive and survivability, just allowing him to survive a little bit longer. Passive Heroic Grudge. Damage dealt against hero characters is increased by 25%. And on defeat of a hero opponent with any ability, increase magic of all abilities by 1. That's a pretty nice kit there. Now he needs 50 of those little shards there, or tokens, character tokens, and right now you're going to get him earliest at 4B Elite, and you're just going to want to make this part of one of your daily farms. You got to do Heroes Campaign every day anyways for your dailies, so make this part of your daily farm every day, as I am. Now next we're gonna get into this guy right here. Is a pretty decent tank. This is Jangles the Clown. He's gonna have basic called Birthday Bash, deal up to 38 damage to target opponent. Then he's gonna get a 20% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn if target opponent is affected by a harmful effect, and plus 50% damage dealt. Special Ring the Bell unlocks this ability here. Obviously when you unlock him, deal up to 100 damage to target opponent, gain taunt for 1 turn, gain shield equal to 5% of this character's maximum health. Shield amount is increased by 1% of this character's maximum health per downtown villain teammate. So you're gonna have 5 of these guys, and so that's going to be I think up to 4% or 5% amount is increased, which is fantastic. As you go on, you're going to get 10% bonus per harmful effect on target opponent, plus 50% base damage dealt. Special number 2, Birthday Party, and this is going to send 2 of any combination of red, yellow, or blue balloons toward target opponent and adjacent opponents. Red balloon deals up to 18% damage, inflict continuous damage, it deals up to 11% damage over time for 2 turns. Yellow balloon is going to deal up to 18 damage, inflict blind for 1 turn. Blue is going to deal up to 18 damage and inflict slow for 1 turn. In consecutive balloons attempts to apply the same harmful effect, the duration of that effect will be additive, so it's going to add on the time. And then when you get it to level 2, it's going to increase the number of balloons by 1, so instead of 2 you're just going to send 3 of any combination. There's only 3 balloons there. So again, this team is all about the debuffs that you're placing on your opponents. Alright, passive is Holy Moly. Deal up to 9 damage to target opponent 2 times, 15% chance to perform this basic ability after a basic ability. Chance to perform after a basic ability is increased by 5% per downtown villain teammate. So then you're gonna get +1 number of damage events, and then plus 50% damage dealt. So again, very good kit for what we're going to use this for, which is the downtown villains. They're all going to be downtown villains. Next is going to be Pete. So Pete here, he's got his basic brute strength. All right, it deals up to 50 damage to target opponent. Once you get to level 2, 50% bonus critical strike chance against opponent affected by defense down, plus 50% damage. Then you got a special Get 'em. Perform brute strength on target opponent. A random teammate will assist. 20% chance for an additional teammate to assist. If assisting teammate is a villain, they gain offense up for 1 turn. Once you go to level 2, you're gonna have a 30% chance to inflict defense down on target opponent for 2 turns. And then 15% chance to inflict defense down at level 3. So up to a 45% chance to inflict defense down, which his basic brute strength actually hinges on there. All right, special number 2 is Heavy Hitter. Deal up to 163 damage to target opponent. Inflict continuous damage, dealing up to 13 damage over 2 turns. And then level 2 is on critical strike, inflict additional continuous damage effect. So damage over time is going to be very big for this actual team. They're going to hit hard, obviously. And then passive is Fighting Mad. On receiving damage, this character has a 5% chance to counterattack, dealing up to 38 damage over 3 hits. And then 50% chance to gain crit chance up for 1 turn, and then plus 50% damage dealt. So 3 turns of doing his basic there, and if you got defense down at level 2, you're gonna get a bonus critical strike chance plus the bonus critical strike chance from Syndrome. So that's going to be the team you're going to really want to go for. Eventually you're going to get Zerg, and Zerg is going to be huge for this downtown villain team. Actually, I'm going to replace somebody out of there, but Syndrome is definitely going to be the leader for this downtown villain team, and you're going to want to use him, continue to star him, and gear him up. It seems like level 3 and level 4 for gear is huge so far in this game, as far as survivability goes and overall power. So that is huge. Now I want to talk about Kingdom. Kingdom's going to be very important as well in this game. Again, another faction that's going to be necessary for climbing tower, for going through and doing special events as well. And there's a very specific team that you're going to really want to use. It involves 4 kingdom characters and 1 non-kingdom character, and I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. So the kingdom characters are going to be Aladdin, which we've gone over his kit. His basic, just something to point out here, he's going to deal more damage if an opponent is affected by slow or stun. So Aladdin was one of the characters I actually recommended for sure there in that first video. Mickey is also another one that I actually recommended, and so you're going to want to make sure that you're actually looking for him as well. But let me just show you where Aladdin can be farmed at real quick. So Villains Campaign 2A Elite and Gran campaign at 3K. You can farm him out of both of those. And as you can see, my Aladdin right now is already at 4 stars, gear tier 4. Mickey right now is only Gran campaign as far as where I can get him. He's also at gear tier 4. And again, his basic here, 30% chance to inflict defense down, and so again, debuffs, right? His special magical mob is going to reduce turn meter from its target, which is great. At level 2, you're going to get 10% chance to reduce even more of target speed meter, and then at 3, you're going to get plus 50% damage dealt. His special, Spellbinding Swirlpool. Now this again is going to interact with Aladdin's kit, deal up to 352 damage to all opponents, 30% chance to inflict slow for 2 turns, which is actually pretty big. And then you have Helping Hand as his passive. On teammate performing a basic attack, 10% chance to assist, up to 15% chance. So you're definitely going to want this particular character as well. Him being a kingdom character, very good character. Again, Mickey you can find over in right now. Gran campaign is actually the only place outside of buying him out of the exchanges. And that's going to be on 3C. Now, moving on, we've got Jasmine, and Jasmine's going to interact with Aladdin. If you remember, Aladdin has a chance with his first special to be able to actually call Jasmine to assist. Now, Jasmine's going to be like a tank for this game because she is going to be able to call Raja to actually spawn and taunt for 2 turns. Raja has 1081 health, has 24 defense, deals up to 170 damage with each attack, gain taunt for 2 turns, and then you're going to give him more defense up. Raja gains defense up on spawn, and then you're going to add to his health and damage dealt by 10%. And so that's going to be her special there, Raja. Her basic is okay, deals up to 220 damage to target opponent. When you go up, you're at a 5% chance to inflict offense down per Aladdin teammate, and then plus 50% damage dealt. Obviously, it's just going to be her and Aladdin, and if you have Raja out, so that's going to be 3 that you can actually use. And there should be a spell, I believe, that also counts for as an Aladdin teammate. And then we go over to Acrobatic Assault. Now this is going to deal up to 509 damage to target opponent. and she's going to gain evasion, which is actually pretty big. It's going to save her for a turn. And then level 2, if Aladdin's a teammate, 50% chance for him to assist, so you can have them both assisting each other. Then you have a passive here called Free Spirit. And Free Spirit, on turn start, 15% chance to perform the following on the teammate with the lowest health. Grant continuous healing, restoring 72 health over 2 turns. Cleanse 1 random harmful effect. So she's going to be able to cleanse and things like that, which is fantastic, taking off those detrimental effects. And then as you go up, you're going to cleanse an additional random harmful effect. And then plus 5% chance to activate. So you get a 20% chance to actually activate that. So that's Jasmine, and then you're gonna have down here is Sean Yu, and you're gonna actually end up using him as your leader. This guy is ridiculous. His kit is absolutely fantastic. His basic is gonna deal up to 50 damage to target opponent. As you go up, you have 50% chance to chain to an adjacent opponent, and then plus 50% damage dealt at 3. His special, now it's your turn, deals up to 72 damage to target opponent 2 times. On defeat opponent, perform the following: gain extra taunt. Then you're gonna go 50% chance to gain crit chance up for 1 turn on defeat opponent when you defeat opponent, and then plus 50% damage dealt. What do you see? And this is gonna deal up to 63 damage to target opponent and all flanking opponents. Inflict defense down for 1 turn. So for 2 turns. If you guys don't know what flanking and adjacent are, flanking is going to be the row. So horizontally is going to be flanking. Adjacent is going to be directly behind or to the spot behind. As far as that's concerned. So, and then you have plus 50% chance for this character to gain offense up. Passive is Bow to Me, and this is on dealing a critical strike with any attack. Perform the following: reduce target speed meter by 30%. You're going to add a plus 5% speed meter decrease, so 35% reduction, and then 5% chance to perform an extra attack on dealing critical strikes. So you can almost chain his attack together if you're dealing enough critical strikes. And then his leadership, Sense Weakness. Kingdom teammates gain the following: 8% bonus speed. So you're gonna make your team faster with his leadership, which is very, very important. Now the other character is going to be a non-kingdom character that's actually going to be in here, and I actually talked about her as one of the starting leaders, and that is going to be Ariel right here, and she's basically in here because she works with the slow with her basic Trident Strike, allows her to chain if they actually have the slow debuff on them, and then she's just able to actually heal up, which is very, very big as far as survivability is concerned. And then she's also able to dispel here with electric current, which purges all helpful effects and does quite a bit of damage as well. So Kingdom is going to be pretty big, like I said, as well here in this game. One, you've got your not summoners challenges. So what's going on today? Limited time events. If you come down here, Sally's Potent Potions, Kingdom characters required. So for this, you actually need 3 Kingdom characters at 3+ stars in order to do. This event opens in a day. So I actually have I have 3 3-star Kingdom characters. I actually have more than that that I'm going to be able to use for this. So very, very important. You go up to 4 Kingdom at 4+ stars, which I don't have yet, and I'm working on that currently. Still 4, and then you go to 5+, and then you go to 5 at 6+ stars, and then 5 at 7+ stars. So eventually you need a full Kingdom team for that, and so things like that is going to be very big. And then towers, the Towers of Endurance. Right now this is downtown required, so you have to have at least 1 downtown character in order to do this. As you go up, it's going to have a kingdom and oceanic required, downtown and wilds required, all affinities required. So pay attention to this. These towers have different things. Towers of endurance are going to need different characters in order to use to actually do these. So it's very important that you farm those particular ones. But again, kingdom and downtown villains are the way to start, my friends. That's all I got for you guys today. Again, my name is Itachi, and this was Itachi Gaming. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure you smash that subscription button, and don't forget to give us a great big thumbs up. Until next time, my friends, I'm out. Deuces.